people at the time said you don't have the constitutional right to do that, and the police department said we're going to do it because someone passed the law. Law means it's legal, right? Not lawful or moral. It just means that you have a law.
You can't give me the right to be a human being. I'm wrong with that right. Now you can keep me from having that if you've got all the policemen and all the jobs on your side.
On April 20th, I joined a small group of people voicing our displeasure with the Rathdrum, Idaho police, who cited a woman having a garage sale with breaking the governor's self-quarantine orders. As usual, this isn't how the law cited applies, but these order followers are tasked with making sure free people comply with edicts of the ruling class, not interpreting the laws. Rathdrum enforcement agents wouldn't talk to us to even attempt to explain their unethical behavior. They hid behind locked doors or car windows as they sped off to congregate down the road. After we visited the precinct, we went to the garage sale that's presenting such a danger to the public. North Idaho Exposed and I saw these 3 Idaho State troopers within sight of the location. Having publicized the event on Facebook, we decided to approach them and see if it was an intimidation factor. Of course, it's played off like they know nothing of what we're talking about, but I know from prior records requests that regionally, law enforcement agencies share information like this all the time. There's a chance they didn't know what was going on, but I doubt it, with 3 of them being there and for an extended period of time. This is the conversation we had with Trooper Martinez of the Idaho State Patrol. He's what most people would call a good cop. I can't agree with that because, as you'll hear him say, for him, it's about enforcing the ideas of a small group of people over the many. And as you just heard, laws aren't about morality or ethics. That means this order follower has and will soon again threaten violence either through his flashing red and blue lights or a command he issues to gain compliance for an investigation against someone violating one of these thousands of statutes he's tasked with enforcing, almost all of which have no victim. Yet he'll threaten violence in order to gain compliance in following these unethical edicts. In this video, North Idaho Exposed and I question Martinez on how he's going to enforce these edicts if he's tasked with actually doing that rather than the current education techniques being used. Links to North Idaho Exposed and all of my sources are in the description below. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and leave me a comment with your thoughts on this interaction with Trooper Martinez.
So I talked with Captain Commander Kemp.
Yeah.
And he said that your stance was that you're not going to, force people to go home.
Okay. That was his stance. I wasn't there for that, so I can't.
Oh, I'm just saying, in general, that's kind of what he said. He said, if we do, come back and see me. And I said, I will. So, but we have this lady over here whose yard sale getting messed with. By the Rathdrum police.
Okay.
They charged her with a stay-at-home order, And I'm just curious if you guys are going to, be lawful or...
Lawful in what sense?
Oh, I just was wondering if you're going to leave the lady alone.
Well, we're not talking to her right now. So.
Okay.
I guess what if you guys did decide to cite anyone? What crime would it be? Would the same one Kootenai County is citing?
Which one's that? I don't know.
I think do you remember what it was? Was it like 10? It was so you got
it's a health and
quarantine. It's a quarantine code.
A person
go
who
ahead.
violates
I can pull it up real quick.
quarantine order shall be guilty of a misdemeanor.
And that's what the code reads. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess my problem is it though is the code itself. It says that you have to have it.
You have to have what?
Like I have to have coronavirus in me for that code to apply to me because it says, okay, you have it. Now we're telling you got to stay in your home or you can't travel here. But our governors in every state are applying it across the board to people who don't have it.
Okay.
And so this is where we're out here is because you guys are put in this position as enforcers of these rules.
Right.
You have to make a decision on ethics. So far, you guys have been doing great, I will say.
We're trying to. Yeah, we're trying to.
But at some point, these governors, because government, our masters, they don't just like us saying, "Screw you, we're not going to listen to you. We're free." Right. So eventually, they're going to start saying, and they are starting to say it.
Right.
No, we set these orders, but I guess. So are you guys going to enforce orders that how do you know if I'm sick if you're going to cite that order with me? I mean, sorry, I guess that's what I'm asking is ethically, how can you even enforce that?
By case, right? Because we don't have a clear-cut answer for every case we do, right? So, and there's lots of scenarios I could put out to you, but the simple answer is no answer is clear-cut what we do. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? You know what I mean?
Well, not really.
Okay, so
Depends on the situation.
it depends on the situation. If I have, we'll use DUI for example. If I have 10 DUI cases, each way I handle those is going to be different. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Makes sense, yeah.
So the way you look at the code, you want to apply it to what the case is at the time to handle it accordingly. Okay? And the best way to do that is try to do that without breaking people's Fourth Amendment rights. I think that's what you guys are out here trying to express, right?
Well, it kind of comes down to a First Amendment right too, is freedom of assembly. You know,
Sure.
not letting people go to church.
I was going to churches as you just kind of think
That's wrong.
Right. Okay. Now let's use sure. And that's your opinion. And that's the great thing about the United States of America. Everybody gets their own opinions, right?
But we all get our own opinions, but we can't necessarily like do things that we should also. Opinions are great, but we should also be able to go fishing. We should be able to do all this stuff, but right now we're not able to. If I go fishing, it would be a big fine, is my understanding. I mean, not by you. I know you're not fish and wildlife. You don't enforce that. But I'm just saying.
Actually, it's up in state code, but yeah, you're right. I primarily worry about other stuff.
Well, you know, like the sheriff's department, Cooney County, now they're cracking down on people with Washington plates that are going to the park and asking them.
Yeah, so that's another one.
You've experienced that?
No, I haven't. But I mean, it's
so
going.
what's your thing?
No, it's not.
No, they're leaving flyers out saying, yeah, I got a copy of
I
them.
haven't seen that.
I'm just saying, I'm just letting you know.
So for me, it's hearsay. Obviously, it's not that. But right.
No, so I guess like along those lines, I guess the reason I'm asking that is because like that flyer specifically says if you're from Washington and you're at a recreation area, you're not here for essential activity. I got it on my phone.
I'll stop by Cooney County.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah. So it says
people with like Washington plates to leave.
yeah, it basically says if you're not here for work, you better leave right now, or you're gonna have to stay here for 14 days to quarantine. But that's not how the law works. But that's how the
And I understand your underlying message, right? And I'm sure you guys do too. But you know, you're going on the other side of that message, saying, "Hey, that's
kind of
unconstitutional."
just saying, "Hey guys, we need to try to be smart." Saying, "If you're from Washington, maybe please right now don't come." That's what you should be saying instead of saying, "No, you guys can't come," or "We're gonna write you a
You
ticket."
guys reside in Idaho or surrounding state? And the reason I ask is I want to I have a follow-up answer
Oh,
for you.
I'm not going to answer that.
I'll tell you, man. I live in Washington.
Okay, so the reason I asked because I was going to ask if you're familiar with Idaho Constitution. Is that a yes or a no?
I mean, I'm familiar with it a little bit. I know the American Constitution.
Okay.
I know that it supersedes
the United
everything.
States Constitution.
Yeah.
Okay. Idaho has its own constitution.
Right.
Okay. Just like I'm sure Washington does.
Yeah.
So what you need to do, do you guys have an email I can send it to you? I can send you Idaho Constitution.
Oh no, I can read that. Yeah, we've got that. I just don't know it necessarily.
I've been giving you guys constitutions.
Idaho Constitution?
Yeah.
From the Secretary of State.
So have you read the
full
part
size.
where it says that the governor can do the shelter in place?
Yes, if you have it.
Okay.
That's how it works. You can't force the whole populace to stay at home.
And it's actually the governor that doesn't do it. It's the
You looked at the
National
Idaho
Guard.
Code 56, 1003?
It's the National Guard that
Title
does it.
56, Chapter 10, Section 7, Subsection C.
It reads 56100.
Okay, I don't know that specific.
Okay,
part.
so that code as well, it says the director can put
Right.
in the shelter.
If they have,
Well, if you're not familiar with it, that's not what it says.
well, that's unlawful. You
So
can't
they can
force
do
the
a
whole
shelter in
populace to stay
place.
home. That's unlawful.
But the law.
And that's what you guys are doing. I
So-
understand that. But listen,
No, I see what you're saying. So that's where he gets to say, okay, shelter in place. But the law they're trying to use to enforce the shelter in place doesn't have to do with what you just said. It has to do with what I said that said you have to have the virus.
Okay, but that still couples with the Idaho Constitution.
But it doesn't matter because they're saying.
But you saying that doesn't matter, that's still an opinion, right?
No, it's not an opinion. It's not an
We
opinion.
found the problem.
It's not an opinion. The law they're citing that they're going to enforce as a misdemeanor literally says I have to have the virus in order to be cited with it. So that's not an opinion. That's
You
fact.
can't just blanket force people to go home. They have to have it.
They're assuming that I might have it, and that's what
I
they're
would still
doing.
highly recommend looking at the 561,000 code.
Well, I mean, I guess
Just make sure.
the reason I'll just tell you the reason I don't really know those and look that up is I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
The same deal. Just
I'm pretty familiar with codes and all that, what operates everything that you guys do. It defines everything you guys can and can't do, but it doesn't define everything I can and can't do. To a point, it kind of does. But my point is, of all those codes, which one is it that says because I crossed from Washington into Idaho, now all of a sudden these codes apply to me as opposed to those ones? Which code is that says because I'm standing here physically as a flesh and blood person, those codes apply to me?
So to try to answer your question, okay, and obviously I'm not a lawyer, but I'm trying to do my best. Coupled with the...
It's a jurisdictional thing.
And it can be, absolutely.
But there's no jurisdiction. What code? That's what I'm asking. What code says that you have jurisdiction over me because I am inside of these imaginary lines of the state of Idaho? Because they're not lines drawn on the earth. We made them up, right? As people. Well, yeah, people. I didn't make them up. Someone else did. And then they're telling me that if I cross this line, the rules change.
Right.
I had nothing to do with that. I'm just a free person, dude.
You're going into a whole different realm, man.
Well, yeah, that's my point.
You're going a whole different realm.
But that's my point. Is
Because of Title 56, 1003?
Yes, sir. It's coupled, and that gives the director the power to do the stay.
So their stance is that they can enforce it on everybody, even if you don't have COVID.
Yeah, my name is Alex Barron. I'm running for state senate.
Yeah,
Well, you know, fist bump.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. But when looking at that code, it did appear that it said that a person who was diagnosed with the disease, it applies all of the past things where a person like, so if you had COVID-19,
right,
then we have the right to say you can't run around and spread it or the plague.
Right, absolutely. I'd be quarantined, right?
Right,
Yeah.
but the big jump that has happened now is that they've said everyone is quarantined, and you have no information about her medical background. You have no information that she's there.
Right.
And so this is a brand new and very novel interpretation of that law.
Right.
And so
Absolutely.
that is going to be, of course, tried in court. There's already the court cases coming up. However, you know, during the issue down in Katrina, they looked at the police department at the time and said, you don't have the right. So the police department in Katrina seized people's
Is this
guns.
current? What Katrina's doing?
No, remember the Hurricane Katrina?
Okay, yes.
So Hurricane Katrina, the police were directed to seize people's guns. There were gunfights
Interesting.
between
Very
looters and people were getting, you know, and so they said, okay, to settle down, we're going to take everyone to guns. People at the time said, you don't have the constitutional right to do that. And the police department said, we're going to do it because someone passed the law. Law means it's legal, right? Not lawful or moral. It just means that you have a law. And of course, after that, that police chief was fired. The city lost its the legal defense. So currently, what they're saying is that everyone, this law that we've said that applies historically is applied to an individual who has the plague.
Right.
You have the right. You need to stay home. Is now applied to every single lawful citizen. There's a lot of people say that is not right. Now the legal stuff will come out, and and there's going to be bad. But I think that people who are enforcing these laws, I hope people are doing it with diligence and a little bit of deference to say, I don't want to chase down people.
And as far as I know, this is the first in the Rathdrum case you guys are covering. That's the first I've heard of anybody in Idaho. Or am I wrong?
It's not. Yeah, the governor has seemed to indicate a very non-confrontational.
I mean, as far as like charging it, right? This person like North Idaho, like.
Yeah, I have not seen it.
No, I think they.
No, there was
in
some.
Rathdrum with the same thing.
I think it was also Rathdrum police a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
That's
they
right,
were
thank
charged
you,
a couple people with it too.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a couple cited
really
with
what
that.
kinda
Most of them were cited with
got us a little
minor
upset about
possession or
this whole thing,
something.
So.
Actually, what got me upset, a lot of people, is that it's the overarching. There's some guy walking along in the park,
Right.
and some people. I mean, the guy, the social distancing was perfect. There's nobody around for 3 miles. You don't know what's going on in that guy's head. You don't know if he really absolutely needed that walk. At best you can come up and say, hey, but he's social distancing perfectly.
Right.
He's out by himself, and they grabbed him. Some other people were camping. Just him and his daughter. Again, you don't know what's happening in the house. He may have absolutely needed that time, and people jammed him. And then the biggest thing that people are just irate about is that they didn't make churches. They did not make churches a requirement, and they didn't give them protocols. Our church was doing things like you only had. Our church sits over 500 people. You only could have 50 people in there, 6 feet between the family groups. We had men go down and just disinfect everything. Everyone had to leave by one door and enter by another door. You had to sign up before. We had more controls than you have at Costco.
Yeah.
Yet, but then they said, okay, no, churches aren't. People get outraged. That's just ridiculous. So I think the first 2 weeks, people kind of gave people the benefit of the doubt, in my opinion.
Right.
There's a lot of people who said,
I would agree.
a lot of the information wasn't out there. If you're sitting there facing, 2 million people are going to die, you're going to go, Okay, well, but now after this, when he extended it 2 weeks, and I think the governor could have just done it in a better way, in my opinion. He could have. I think he could have been more aware of how people are hurting. I just talked to a girl over here working in Rathdrum who's her unemployment's been denied. I mean, she's got.
It's terrible, isn't it?
It's not good. So we gotta let people get back to work in the safest way possible and the fastest.
And as a country, obviously, you probably guys, if you don't agree with me, please let me know. But it's trying time.
Yes.
Whether it's us, the guys in the uniform, and you guys, because
Same job.
right, because I'd say 99.9% of the people that sign for this job get in this career to help people, right? So we're trying to help people at the same time. It's challenging because I'm not going to say you guys are right. I can't have a stance on either of this, right? Especially in uniform. But you guys are making, I think, for that least amount, fair arguments. Okay. So it is trying for us as well, because yes, we signed to keep the oath, which you guys are.
It's a learning process, right?
It's a learning process for both sides, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely, as a country. So, I mean, you guys are doing good journalism. I think this is, and you guys are catching good journalism because this is going to go down in history.
Yeah.
It's really,
No, it is. That's what we're doing.
Spanish flu.
So
I'm sure you guys have looked up a lot of Spanish flu.
Yes.
Actually, right here, did you see in 1918, Idaho Idaho did quarantine.
Really?
Back in that time, they did have this kind
Really?
of process, but it was against. It was talking about individuals.
Okay.
They're like, okay, you came from the Diamond Princess ship or whatever, whatever
I understand
the equivalent, and it was here. What I think my point is that it is my opinion that there is a strong indication that some of the things that the states are doing are unconstitutional by both the federal and the state constitution.
And that's a fair opinion, absolutely.
And that means that law enforcement is sitting here faced with this thing going, that means that in a year, a lot of people are going to come down and say, you guys did the wrong thing. And that's why I think that I would encourage law enforcement to be very differential when looking at these.
And I think you missed it. We were talking about cases and how we take care of my, example of DUIs. You're not going to have 10 DUIs that I could have in, let's say, a week. That's really rare. But let's say I had 10 DUIs arrests in a week. Each case is going to be handled differently, right? And just like we were talking about enforcing these codes are going to be handled differently. Now, if you have some guy, so I heard of the case down in California where people are going in like spitting on food and like looking at, you guys hear about that?
Yeah, I heard
Needs to go away. These guys were opening up bottles, drinking it, closing it. It's utterly just. It cost the store like something like $50,000 in fresh vegetables.
Absolutely.
The guy went and spit on all this vegetable and just and it's like they had to all of it gone, trash, clean the whole place. It was terrible.
Absolutely.
That's a lot of people without food. That's a lot of people.
And
I saw that story.
they're trying to do, go against this code. Absolutely, they're doing it a different way because you guys are trying to educate, right? Those people are like, they're being disgusting. They're going through the brain. It's like
You're trying to hurt anybody.
Hey, how you doing there? And what's really crazy is that what that is hurting other families because people need that food.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this: do you think this code enforcing it on a situation like that would be fair?
You're hurting people. Well, first of all,
I was going to say that's got to be even.
crime.
I was going to say that's like, you don't even need this code. You don't need this code. That's got other stuff.
It's not even
It's got to be like damage to property or something.
So you guys would agree though that having this code to enforce something like that would be fair?
Well, I wouuld because there's other laws that you could enforce there, right?
Absolutely.
Means damage to someone's property, stuff like that. So that's why I believe in
Our biggest
non-aggression.
goal is to try to spread the germs of the coronavirus, right? And
Well, I understand that. I mean, then you could get into semantics. Maybe are they trying to do that? We can charge them with some kind of terrorist act. I just don't think we should be bringing new rules in for a virus. We shouldn't be bringing new rules. We have plenty of rules already.
but these aren't new rules, right? They were old.
The declaration of an emergency, though, is kind of what I'm saying. I guess I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
The code to be able to.
Well, I guess what I'm saying, that's not new though.
No, that's not new. But just saying, okay, you can't travel, you can't go to work. That's new. And
Gotcha.
that's not even a code.
I understand that. No, I
So
understand.
like I said earlier, I will say I don't really like law enforcement jobs, but I have been happy with how you guys have been enforcing this.
Thank you,
So
man. I appreciate it.
I've seen more compassion than I've seen just. I'm doing this. You do it because I said so, and that's what
I
that's
hope
nice.
your feeling continues to get better relationship with us. Like I said, I think you guys are doing a good job capturing moments in this time.
Yeah.
If anything, and is it fair to say this is journalism?
Yep.
Okay, you guys are capturing this moment in time. It's going to be historical. It is.
It is.
So this is good journalism. You guys have an opinion. A lot of documentaries usually have some kind of opinion, and you guys are capturing, I think, both sides very well. Is that fair to say as well?
Yeah, it's nice to be able to have a conversation, even if we don't agree with each other.
Absolutely.
Conversations are how things are solved.
I'm all about having conversations,
I'd much rather
educating if I can.
I agree. I'd much rather do this, because there are two sides to every story, than have us sitting across the road yelling at each other.
And
Because that doesn't work.
typically a lot of time it goes to court and you have to decide. But
Right,
if
right.
we can sit here in the grass or stand, excuse me.
We can have conversations, and
It's great.
that helps to get decided. So I appreciate it.
Absolutely great.
Yeah, we'll be taking enough of your time, so thank you.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to do a picture or anything, or Alex? I mean, it's up to you guys.
Yeah.
Good.
You stand between you guys. Is that okay?
Oh yeah. Okay.
6 feet, man.
Thanks for supporting my channel and work. Links to all the platforms you can find questionable authority on are in the description below. And there's lots of ways to help me grow and dedicate more time to this channel. Of course, links to PayPal, Dash, Bitcoin, and others are listed. But you don't have to part with your capital to support me. There are ways like downloading the privacy-minded Brave browser using my link below and using it for 30 days, or sign up for a new Hive or Steam account and earn cryptocurrency for yourself for doing what you already do on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and at the same time, I'll earn crypto for your upvotes and comments.